Competition in display and the preservation of outward appearance was not limited to pharaohs and rulers alone. It also unfolded on a smaller scale within the lower strata of society. In ancient Egypt, outward display through clothing and jewelry served as a social standard and a visible symbol of a family's economic status. The more beautifully and splendidly one dressed, and the more adorned with ornaments one appeared, the greater the respect and attention one would receive. Indeed, the act of showcasing one's abilities and beauty provided the Egyptians with an opportunity not only to magnify themselves in the eyes of others, but also to strengthen their own self-belief and confidence. Within this society, every being was expected to converge with the collective through the appreciation and glorification of beauty and splendor, which acted as bridges binding the individual to the community. This tendency toward display, whether in art or in social and familial relations, helped the Egyptians to consolidate their identity in a complex and often challenging world. In this regard, the great pyramids and temples, the magnificent tombs, and even the colorful garments and magical ornaments that adorned the people all stood as symbols of an ongoing effort to draw the attention of both the gods and their fellow human beings. Archaeological evidence shows that Egyptians believed every person should strive not only to satisfy the gods, but also to succeed in the judgment of society. Among the various social classes, especially among nobles and pharaohs, competition for the display of wealth through the choice of clothing and jewelry was striking. During religious ceremonies and festivals, special attention was paid to appearance, with prescribed protocols governing attire and adornment. These occasions became arenas of beauty, spectacle, and competition in self-presentation. Thus, the Egyptians on outward display was part of their ceaseless pursuit of improving and elevating their social position. They carefully compared themselves to one another, striving to outshine their peers and secure a place at the center of attention. Yet, this contest in appearance sometimes led people into deep states of anxiety and despair. When unable to fulfill their inner longings, they resorted to artificial means, exaggeration, pretension, and self-display to gain admiration and approval. In attempting to fill the psychological void left by social failures, they immersed themselves in an illusory realm of success and power. Each moment of their existence, therefore, became divided by the contradictions between their aspirations and the tangible realities of life. Egyptians usually wore light, thin fabrics such as linen. During the Old Kingdom, linen in particular was highly valued, especially in the northern regions where the hot climate made it a necessity. Men generally wore simple, single-layer garments. A common form was short kilts or wraparound skirts tied at the waist, while some also wore long, loose robes. Women, on the other hand, dressed in long gowns and various body-fitting garments that were often transparent. These were decorated with chains and other ornaments, serving as symbols of beauty and magnificence. Egyptian attire was rich in color and decoration. Blue, green, gold, and red were commonly used, each holding symbolic significance: blue for the sky and life, gold for eternity and divine power. Jewelry, too, played a vital role, not only enhancing physical beauty, but also signifying social and economic status. Bracelets, necklaces, earrings, and rings were widely worn. These ornaments were usually made of pure gold, silver, and precious stones such as lapis lazuli and carnelian. Some carried religious meanings, functioning as talismans of protection or spiritual power. For instance, necklaces bearing the ankh or the eye of Horus. The sacred aura surrounding such ornaments both promoted their use and simultaneously reinforced religious devotion. Art and craftsmanship were essential in creating garments and ornaments. Skilled artisans employed the finest materials to produce objects that embodied the grandeur of Egypt. The distinctive attire of pharaohs and nobles not only reflected their wealth and power, but also their divine authority and claimed connection to the gods. By wearing these garments, they sought to impress and influence others. Thus, clothing and sacred symbols in ancient Egypt represented humanity's search for meaning, purpose, and communion with higher forces. Adornment was also part of socialization, embedding individuals within a shared religious and social system. This culture of display greatly boosted the trade of clothing, jewelry, and textiles, fostering a thriving economy of fashion and craftsmanship. The Egyptians' obsession with beauty and outward appearance not only reflected personal taste, but also elevated these products into significant social and cultural symbols. As beauty illuminated daily life, demand for garments and jewelry soared. The more attention people paid to appearance, the more prosperous this trade became. This link between beauty and wealth spurred innovation in design and production, intensifying competition among craftsmen and flooding the market with variety and brilliance. Not only did such products sell better, but they also formed a considerable part of Egypt's economy, a living, evolving market shaped by the desires and sensibilities of its people. Thus, this culture of display not only lent splendor to society, but also laid strong foundations for Egypt's commerce and production.